Hey, that's something interesting. All right. Dang. Now that is pretty cool. How's it going, everybody? Neil Jernigan here. It's camera trap day. Just coming into the swamp this morning, and man, doesn't it feel great to have a fantastic bobcat image under your wings and knowing that you'll probably never make a better one. Man, last week's video with the bobcat was phenomenal, and I'm so thankful to have gotten that photo. I want to go ahead and get that out of the way and say thanks to all the wonderful comments that I got from all over the world, emails, messages through, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff. And just want to say a big thank you to everybody. And I'm super pumped about it. Glad I was able to recover the image. And yeah, definitely got some of my best work for sure. So coming in today to potentially move this trap. We've had this camera set up on the beaver dam in this location for several weeks. We've gotten an array of subjects, including the bobcat, gray foxes, had a couple different types of birds land on it. We've had a red fox almost cross the dam, got about halfway and sensed the trail camera cut on. It's funny how sensitive the canines are to these trail cameras when they cut on. They're either hearing or sensing something and they turn around, but almost had a red fox, which would have been phenomenal. But activity here in the swamp has dropped over the last probably 3 weeks. I've had hardly nothing. Raccoons aren't even moving. Hadn't seen a fox in almost a month, it seems like, close to it. And about the only active thing has been the beavers. And so what I've decided to do, unless I see something otherwise that makes me want to leave this camera here, we're going to move it. And we're going to move it to the original location that I had wanted to put this trap at on the dam way back in December. Was that little bitty slough that the beavers use to access this part of the pond. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, unless there's something on the camera to that's good that makes me want to keep it. I'm not going to leave, excuse me, I'm not going to take the camera out of this area for a little while. I'm going to leave this one here for a while. Just to see what's active, especially in the coming weeks when spring gets here, and that's right around the corner. So long story short, I'm going to check it real quick, see what we got, and if there's nothing spectacular, we're going to move it right over here and see if we can photograph some beavers, because right now that's the only thing that's been very active. So thanks for tagging along, hope you stick around with me, and we'll see you in just a second. So not much on the trail camera. I will say I did forget to turn it on one trip in. Just came in one afternoon, checked batteries, and completely forgot to turn the camera back on. So I may have missed something. But that's pretty cool with that screech owl. Wish I could have gotten a good photo of that guy. That'd been really neat. Hey, that's something interesting. All right. Dang. Now that is pretty cool. Looks like I got two gobblers, wild turkeys that walked across the dam. I'm gonna have to check this other camera over here and see if I got them as they walked across, because this trail camera didn't get it. So that must have been during the day or the days that I had accidentally forgot to turn this one back on. Wow. So that just adds to the species that I've gotten on this camera. They're nothing spectacular. They seem to be walking pretty quick. Really busy background that came during the day, and that's it. That's all I got. A couple small birds. Unfortunately didn't get that screech owl, but alright guys, so it's been a great set here. I'm probably going to bring it back to this location in a couple weeks, but since there's not much moving, like I said earlier, we're going to go ahead and we're going to figure out a way to set it up over here. And yeah, we're going to see if we can get some beavers or otters crossing this setup here and crossing the dam. See what we can do with that. So stay tuned and I'll show you what I got just as soon as I get it finished. We got everything set up. I moved the camera over, took it off the tree that it's been on, and I put it right over here. That's right on the dam. And so everything went together fairly simple. I think I'm going to be happy with it. Time will tell. These beavers cross into this pond almost every night, so I could potentially check this trap on a daily basis if I wanted to. So what I may do just for the first couple of days is come back and just see how everything's looking. So we're going to do something a little bit different with this one. It's going to be a really wide shot. The beavers are going to cross right in front of the camera, and I'm going to be shooting in aperture priority. So by doing this, I'm going to select what aperture I want and what ISO. The camera's then going to select what shutter speed. So most of these, like I said, most of these beavers cross during the night. So if they come early in the morning, late in the evening, or in the dead of night, the camera's going to determine what shutter speed is best. So if there's any stars out or if the moon is out, the theory is that it's going to capture all that available light. So it could have a shutter speed of 2,000th of a second during the day, which will be no good because I won't be able to capture the flash. But at night it could be as low as 8 seconds or 30 seconds even. There'll be long exposures. So I'll have a really bright flash to freeze the action, and then the shutter's going to stay open for, like I said, up to 30 seconds, and it's going to let all that natural ambient light come in, like the stars or the moon or whatever there is. So they cross this path pretty quick, so I'm thinking as they go down, it'll pop, freeze them there, shutter stays open, captures the available light, and then they continue on and it doesn't spook them. If they come back into the pond, same thing happens. It'll pop, capture the available light, and then it'll be done. So all in all, in my mind it's looking good. And this is the shot that I was originally wanting to do way back in December, so I'm very excited to finally put it into action. Now if any foxes or bobcats or anything like that decides to cross the dam, I should be able to capture them. I'm leaving the sensor pretty wide open, so whenever the beaver starts to come in, you know, it'll fire, or if something comes towards the camera on the dam, it should fire. So no matter if anything crosses the beaver trail or the dam itself, I should be able to get at least one photo. So that's the only downside to this, is it does only one. You know, so if it's at night and, you know, if there's a beaver sitting there for 20 seconds, then depending on the shutter speed, if the shutter speed is only 8 seconds, then I might get 2 exposures out of it. But it all depends on when the animal comes. We're at the mercy of them. So, alright, come over here, I'll show you what how everything looks, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. Alright, so this is where the beavers cross, right here. So they're going to come from the old part of the pond into this one, and then out of this one into the old one. And so I got my sensor. I've got my sensor right above the camera, which is right there. And then I've got my camera, and I've got a flash to the left of the camera and the right. And so these are, it's going to be front lit. So again, I'm just looking at wanting to light them long enough to then be able to capture a long exposure of stars and moonlight potentially. So the light's going to be somewhat boring, but I'm hoping for an overall good exposure for the beaver and the environment. Now, something that I thought of that I may do, I may bring in either some rebar or a metal pipe and actually hammer it down into the mud to get my flashes away from the camera, to create a more interesting lighting setup. As of right now, as you can tell, there's nothing to put my flashes on except for the tree that the camera is on itself, or just putting them on the dam like I've got one of them already. So depending on how it looks in the next couple of days, I may decide to come back and, like I said, put something in the ground to actually attach my flashes to give it a more interesting lighting situation. So all in all, I'm super excited. I'm very excited to see what this is going to look like. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing to do but wait now. It's all a waiting game, isn't it? Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks for tagging along with me. Not a lot going on in this video. I don't know how I'll be able to top last week's with the bobcat, but that's the goal, is to make bigger, better traps for bigger and better photographs. So I'm super excited, and I'm very thankful for you guys sticking with me and tagging along. I will be back in here over the next couple of days checking it. I'll try to record a little bit each day, as if I make any modifications and show you any updates that I may have. If you're on Instagram, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of small Insta stories up there, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I may go set up a trail camera that I may not make a video for YouTube, but I do post it on the Instagram story. So be sure to follow me there. And just thanks so much for, again, all the good comments and everything, and I really appreciate it. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of the trail camera that was set up on the dam that I've not seen yet. So I got to go home and back them up and see what we got. But I'm going to put them up there along with a few other things that I was able to get on this last couple of weeks setup right here on the beaver dam. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time, we'll see you.